Hackmania.com, promo code WATP. We're going to be in Las Vegas May 9th through 11th. I'll be there May 8th. Come down a day early. Hang out with us. We're going to have a blast. Live podcasts. Maybe Nick or Cater will be there. We don't know. But come down. Check out Hackmania.com for more information.
Who are these podcasts? WATP.
Pat, I want to talk to you about this thing that's happening with Supertip real quick. I don't want to get like too deep into it, but I'll give a quick overview for people who don't know, who are watching or listening to the show. So basically, you had your ex anonymously super tipping your show.
Yeah.
Pretending to be someone else.
Right.
And you were able to discern that that was your ex because you can go into your Stripe account, which is tied to Supertip. Stripe is the processing company for the credit card. And you get some information for the people who super tip you. So you'll see the zip code. You'll see the last four of the credit card. I don't know if there's an email, whatever else is it.
Same thing that I use for my locals.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Locals is the same kind of thing. So whenever you process payment, you have to get some information about people.
Right.
So you were able to go in and see from Stripe a timestamp as well and a dollar amount. So then you could say, okay, if it was $3 or $5 at this time, then it's this super tip that I got.
Yeah.
And so you're able to check those dots and say, this zip code is where this person lives, and these came in at this time.
Well, I'm not like you and Patrick, and I don't get thousands of super tips, So, I had one anonymous person who did this all in the course of 2 consecutive nights.
Okay.
So it's just 2 consecutive nights worth of anonymous tips, the only anonymous tips. It wasn't this digging thing. I didn't have to do any kind of,
No, that's a good point. Because, yeah, I pull down reports out of Stripe because I have to sort it for my own accounting kind of stuff. So I know the data that's in there. So, yeah, I'm thinking about it more like granularly, where it's like, okay, if it was 7:18 p.m. and it's $5 and this one must be this. But, yeah, you're looking at it, you're going, okay, this is...
Yeah, there's a handful.
Right, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And you know what, Carl? I did not even know that this information was available until Moody told me.
Okay.
Moody.
You're blaming Moody for this.
I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but he's not speaking up for me either. He's like, oh, yeah, he's crazy. But
yeah.
It's just a fact. He sent me photos. He sent me fucking, of the screen. Here's
I never said any of that. It's a lie.
Moody's here.
He did. He just guided me through the whole thing. Now, the last thing I'm going to do now is show that, for God's sake. I'm trying to not. I don't want to offend. It's the last thing that I want to do. But it's like I was saying last night on my show. It's like walking into the middle of, Melton walks into the middle of a movie and goes like, "What the hell's going on?" Like the Big Lebowski or something. Where all this shit is happening. He's like, "Why is John Goodman screaming at that kid? He's crazy."
Right.
There's a sequence of events here that there's a logic. Okay.
And I'm not here to scold you, but the reason why I said that to set all of this up is because Pat, who is not a super technical guy, just went on and said, yeah, I know from Supertip that it was my ex who sent in this thing. And so everyone jumped to this conclusion that Supertip takes all of your personal data. And so are you trusting Carl or Patrick Melton or Tukey or any of these people who use Supertip with all of your personal information? They can just use it and exploit it. And we went, whoa. No one's collecting any personal data from people. There's a payment processing company, just like everything has a payment processing company, that whenever you make a purchase online or with a credit card, there always is a company that does that.
It's delusional to think otherwise.
But you misspoke and said, yeah, I got this from Supertip or, whatever.
Right. I just said this. I've discovered it through her super tipping me. Yeah. But of course, it's Stripe. I figured nobody knows what the fuck Stripe is.
But now Kevin and all the people who hate Patrick and anyone who's using Supertip are running with this and talking about how this is a horrible system and you shouldn't use it and all this stuff. So we were talking about this last night on This Little Piggy, is my point. And Kevin Brennan was sniping us, and Stalin19 posted this. I just wanted to play a couple of clips from it because it's funny, the things that Kevin says. He really is a dumb guy. He doesn't realize it, but he is.
Well, whoever's saying sell information, that's just something they've heard out there in the ether. They have no idea what they're talking about. When Kevin Brennan's talking about what's going to happen with the data that's being collected and shit, these people have no idea. I used to work in data security.
Right. Is the Hunchback's lawyers going to contact me too? What's going to happen to me? Oh, no. Look at all these cocks nodding. Yep. I'm sure.
It's wild to me. These people think they can even talk on the subject.
Dude,
Wow. So Carl's saying people shouldn't talk about a subject unless they're familiar with it. Doesn't Carl talk about stand-up all the time? His takes on stand-up, who's a good stand-up? Because
Yeah. So there's a huge difference here, and I'll explain it to you.
Nope, same thing.
I'll explain it to Kevin
I don't know what
Brennan
you're talking about.
because he's either stupid or a liar. That's always Kevin's thing. Stand-up is done for me and people like me. I am the target audience for it. I enjoy stand-up. I go to see live stand-up shows. I support stand-up. We brought Pat to Rochester to do stand-up. I'm a big fan of his. I like stand-up comedy. Data security is more of a technical thing. You have to know how computer systems work and understand how these systems interact with each other in order to understand what data can be extracted from that and how you would have access to it and who would have access to it. And Kevin knows none of these things. He knows nothing about technology at all.
Or comedy.
Do you understand the difference?
God bless you for picking it apart when Kevin does shit like this. You know what I mean? Just glosses over makes these ridiculous analogies.
Yeah, he's a retard. I mean, this is a guy who, for a long time, for months, he was talking about how Shuli was buying views. Like, oh, do you have any evidence of that? Well, yeah, the view count on YouTube doesn't get caught up right away. It takes a little bit of time for the total view count to show up. And someone told you that means they're buying views? Yeah. Well, that person was lying to you. I know, but I run with it for months. Oh, cool. So you have no evidence. You don't know anything, but you just repeat the same lie and gaslight your audience for months over this shit. This is what Kevin does.
He feels victimized by other people's success.
Correct. He hates it when anyone who does his show does someone else's show. He takes it as a personal slight, which is a mental problem.
Yeah. And a lot of our frequent subjects share this.
Yeah. Yes. It's a mental case.
Because Carl's an expert on stand-up, right? Because he's done it for years.
I did say I thought Kevin was a very good stand-up.
Fair enough.
Maybe I am an expert.
I mean, seriously. Wow.
Second place in Wisconsin, so like it.
This
Right.
Supertip scandal is tantamount to Cambridge Analytica. This is
Right, yeah,
huge.
you would think so. Trump's going to get reelected for a third term because of this.
Right.
But they're also
Right.
lumping in Stripe, the credit card processing service that you use for super tips, in with Supertip. They don't understand that, yes, you can get.
Wait. A puppet knows about super tips and Stripe? Carl, did the puppet work there too?
So I realize Kevin's being funny here, but literally
he's not.
every
That's not
person on this
funny.
panel is smarter than Kevin. And by the way, all three of those guys are smarter than me. These are very intelligent people that we're talking about right here. They have important jobs that take a lot of tech savvy to do. And Kevin's going, oh, puppet now is more about Stripe. Yes. Dude, Rocco uses the system. He understands it. Could you imagine trying to get Kevin set up on Supertip and connecting it to Stripe? It would never happen.
It'd be fun to watch.
Not without Adam being there. You need Adam to do all of this shit.
Or should he not be talking about it?
Certain information on Stripe, but that is normal credit card processing.
I'll tell you this.
It's
'cause
not real outrage.
Yeah,
They're
tell-
idiots.
tell
It's
them.
not
I'll tell you this, because I do have Supertip, and I use it for different shows. So sometimes I'm on with Who Are These Socials, but I do with Blind Mike, and sometimes I use it for little one-offs, WATP and stuff. And my first complaint was I can't get any information out of Supertip.
Right. But Pat Dixon seemed to be able to get it real easy. Seems to be getting it real easy. Zip codes, last four digit of the credit card.
I remember messaging you and Moody like, how do I run a report that shows how much money I made on this day versus that day? You're like, yeah, we don't have any of that. Like there's literally no
Right.
information in
Right.
Supertip. I wish there was more.
You can't tell how much you made in a show.
No, there's no way. I have to go to
Right, then why would they use it if they can't tell what they made in the show?
Stripe to get that information.
Right.
I don't need
right.
people lead like this.
Right.
One question I want to ask.
He's so stupid. Then why would you use it if you can't get that information? Well, I just said I can get the information out of Stripe,
Yeah, you made the money
but Stripe doesn't have AI voices that overlay on your video
and tell jokes.
and tell jokes and accept money from people to do that.
Right. You don't know how dumb you are.
Please explain.
You can't figure out how to use super tips to figure out how much you made on each show. But Kevin Brennan, there, genius Kevin Brennan,
Mhm.
he knows exactly how much he makes on every show. The old iPhone camera seems
Right.
to be
This is the guy who takes photos. He takes photos of all the big super chats and then complains on the 21st every month about how much money Google takes from him.
See, NASA wanted to make a pen that could write upside down in space, but Russia, they just use a pencil, Carl.
Work smarter, not harder. I see what you're saying. Just one more clip from this that I wanted to address. And
Pat, missed that car crash sound.
I see what you mean, though, about the he's either super disingenuous and lying or just fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's one or the other, but I think it's both. A lot of times, like, he knows he doesn't know, but he says it like he does.
Right.
How is this a show? Who's watching him analyze what you guys are? This is insane. People are watching this on the internet.
Doug, I'll tell you why. And this is the thing, like, guys like you and most people don't get involved in this kind of thing because they're watching a show like it's a team sport. I'm Team Brennan. Well, I'm Team Melt. I'm Team Steel Toe. Like, these people actually get into these factions, and then they get into their Discords and their subreddits, and then they're like, "Did you see what Kevin said on his show?" And then someone else goes, "Did you see what Carl said about Kevin?" And then it's just like fucking nonstop. That's how they live their lives instead of just watching entertainment and being entertained by it.
This is wild. It's wild. Wow.
I must agree. There is no Team Steel Toe.
I think there is. Someone's giving him money, Pat. Every fucking episode. I can't figure it out. We're all trying to figure it out.
But yeah, there's never anybody standing up for him. You know, like, I think he's a good broadcaster. Damn it, he's on the up and up.
But it is funny that it's all about Pat Dixon. They don't even bring up Pat Dixon's name. They literally don't even mention the name Pat Dixon. But it's all about somehow Steel Toe is now the problem. I mean, Steel Toe is a loser, that's a fact, but somehow now he's the problem. It's not Pat Dixon.
Streamlabs. Okay.
Right.
If you pay someone on Streamlabs, that connects to Stripe
or PayPal.
PayPal. You can connect to either of them.
Yeah.
But Steel Toe's not the problem. He wasn't the one using it. It was Pat Dixon was using the information. Steel Toe's not. He wasn't talking on the show about how he was using information to get his ex-wife's to dox her, to find out where.
All right, Kevin, maybe you're not following the adult-heavy conversation right now. This is a show called This Little Piggy. It's about Aaron Imholt. And what we're responding to is Aaron saying, I wouldn't use Supertip if you can get this kind of information out of there. I wouldn't give money to them, and acting like he doesn't use the exact same services where he's collecting money digitally, and it's all the same credit card processing and everything else you have to do, and the data gets collected and he has access to it. So that's what we're talking about. And Kevin goes, why are they bringing up Pat Dixon? They should be talking about Pat. We don't do a weekly show about Pat Dixon. No one would tune in for that.
Boy, would they ever not. You got a good point. I mean, like, I don't even suck in an entertaining way, you know. But, like, let me just say this and about this whole thing is that, like, this didn't come out of nowhere. You know, she was in my chat with, like, another one of her fucking alts, you know, talking shit. And then finally I'm just like, all right, enough. You know, I never would have even considered sharing it had Moody not gone like, hey, it's yours. Do what you want. You know, we're not going to tell you not to do that. Just don't imply. The only caveat he gave me, because I even expressed concerns about it, he blew them off. He blew off my concerns and said, you know, look, you know, just don't make it sound as if you have more information than what you have through Supertips.
So like, Moody's in the chat right now, and he says, when I said you can go public with this, I thought we understood it meant I know these tips are from Felicia. Not who wants the last four digits of Felicia's credit card.
Okay, that's the one thing that you can latch onto and say, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I didn't say who wants it, and I was just trying to say, I know that the information's real. That's it. There's no way I was going to give out that fucking information.
Well, also, it doesn't matter. The last four digits of, and I realize it's not cool to say that. Like, I haven't. I can give it to you. But the last four digits of a credit card gets you nothing.
I know. And you know how I know that? Because Stripe lets me have it.
Right.
Otherwise, I could set up a Stripe account and rob everybody.
Yes.
Morons.
It wouldn't make any sense at all.
Any information except the fact that it was her. And
I would trust
relevant.
I would trust any of these people with the last four digits of my credit card over Chad having one digit of my credit card.
Because then he'll try out every combination after that. He'll eventually figure it out.
And by the way, that chat for Moody was a super tip if you want the voice.
Oh, yeah, we do this here.
That breaks privacy laws and terms of service. Clearly, okay, this is stupid.
I love it. I like that this is a smart AI that knows that TOS stands for terms of service. It's even better than the Supertip system.
This AI watches a lot of John.
It's awesome.
I didn't break any privacy laws. I'm pretty sure of that. And as far as terms of service goes, I mean, I don't think I read the terms of service of Stripe, and I think I'm fine.
Yeah, I think you're fine as well. I just think that Patrick and Moody don't want people to think that they shouldn't send super tips.
Which is fine. Yeah. And I totally agree. You should use super tips. Definitely. And I think all the people making the most noise about this are the people that were never going to do that anyway. They're just fucking morons.
Correct.
They're not winning anybody over. They're preaching to their own little choir. And like the whole thing probably never would have been kicked up quite as much had, look, I mean, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I'll just say, I love Mountain. I consider him a friend. He's helped me a lot and stuff like that. But he didn't need to fucking imply that I might kill somebody, for Christ's sake.
Oh, that was okay. We were talking about that in this little piggy, and I was like, now I don't think Pat's a killer. I've had him over to my house before. You're a great guy, but do you have a tendency towards violence? I've seen it
once.
All right. Fair enough.
You know how long it's been since I've tried to murder somebody?
It's been a while. That's a good point. Moving to the South will help you with that. Things slow way down.
Yeah, I mean, he was, he's jumped on this whole, like a lot of weird speculation stuff, and he's.
I understand.
And I'm not going to be sermonized by Patrick, a guy who has some kind of like illegal contact with somebody's fucking Google account and shit like that,
Oh, we're taking shots around the other way.
No, I mean, it's true though, isn't it?
I don't know if it's illegal.
He broke into a fucking.
No one broke into anything.
Court, right? A court.
No one broke into anything.
People do. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Snaked his way. And I mean, I don't know how he got in there. How did you get in there? How did you get into his fucking court, John's court?
Oh, that's Cardiff. That's what you're talking about now. That's public information, right?
Yeah, it was just
the Zoom link.
You know how many people sent me that link?
Because court, anyone can go to court. So now if you're doing it online, you can show up and check it out, I guess.
Well, it's like you said, nobody can do anything. I certainly didn't put any information out there that was.
Actually, you send me the link, Pat. What are we talking about?
Could you imagine?
Whoops.
I think he's in a second grade class right now. Check this out. Just the last thing I want to say about Kevin Brennan and everything that he's saying, because he's so stupid and doesn't understand how the world works, is he's going, Patrick is talking about how they're close to selling Supertip. They have investors or a company that wants to take it over or something like that. And Kevin's going, right. How much money did it make? Right. He doesn't realize that they've developed a technology. You can sell a technology with it making zero money. If I created the world's best search engine and I didn't monetize it, I could sell that to a company that wanted the world's best search engine. But Kevin's so out of it, he doesn't understand that these guys are so smart. They're developing new technology that didn't exist before this. And it's pretty cool. And you should take advantage. Supertip.gg.
Can I just say, I think it's an amazing technology. I love the way it works. I love using it, and like I told Melton, if you need a head, give me the axe, you know what I mean? But like, I really don't want that to happen because it's a great service.
Who are these podcasts?